If you want to play along, go into your working folder and pick up two images. They're both PSDs, Color Wheel and Color Cast. We are about to play the Color Wheel of Fortune with prizes galore. We're talking about color casts. Color casts are different than just images that have wonky colors in them. Color casts are traditionally made when you get the temperature of the film incorrect for your lighting. For example, traditional film, and I still shoot traditional film, although I do most of my stuff digital, but traditional film was baked to a particular temperature. And if you still shoot traditional film, or you remember this, we had outdoor film, we had indoor film that was keyed to the Kelvin temperature of sunlight or tungsten or fluorescent. Now, the most common colors I can remember from that are either a blue cast outdoors or a green cast indoors when you're shooting outdoor film with things like fluorescent lighting. You can have the same problem if you're shooting with a digital camera in especially the RAW format, because RAW doesn't anticipate anything, it just assumes you're going to make the changes yourself. So RAW is very much like traditional film. But whatever it is, color casts are not that difficult to fix. So I have my Color Wheel of Fortune right here. You have an inner wheel and an outer wheel, and they line up. So the colors that I saw are the colors that I have. Think of it that way. What happens with the color cast, where you get the temperature incorrect, is this happens. They shift slightly, but they all shift the same amount. That's the good news. If you can figure out where the cast exists, and it usually exists in primary or secondary colors, it's actually relatively easy to fix something like this and put it all back together. So let's go back to this image. We had a snowstorm not too long ago, actually. That was the second highest snowfall recorded in Wichita history. So I went out and took some photographs. Some of these are not all that entertaining, but what I did in the first couple is I got the temperature of the film wrong. I was shooting RAW, and I was shooting with indoor lighting as opposed to outdoor, and I have a color cast. I want to fix the color cast. Now, I could have done it on the camera, which I did after I took 8 or 9 photographs. I then switched it, and I was okay. But how do I fix this image? Because, well, I like this image. Well, come over here again. Now, we can click here, and we can go into color balance. We'll use that one again. Or, again, you can come up here and click this little button right here. Color balance. Adjustment layers are the way to go. Non-destructive editing. I mean, that's really important. Now, this image, because of this color balance problem, has too much blue. I know that because that's where that temperature lies. What I need to do is just remove that by adding yellow and removing blue at the same time. Now, what I like to do is come in here and press the up and down arrow keys, because to me that just gives me a little bit more control. And you will notice that as I bring this down, I begin to bring the colors right in. Again, we are doing this not by math. We're just doing it by looking at it and saying, well, I've got a color-corrected monitor. My eyes are okay. I'm stopping here. So we could play around with this all day long, but primarily speaking, color casts exist in primary and secondary colors, so it's pretty easy to fix them. We can always see the before and the after right here. Now, what if you're not really positively sure what color it is? Well, you could play around. This is not destructive. You could try a couple of things until you like what you see. But let me show you a down and dirty way to do something like this. Now, we'll leave this one here, but we'll turn it off. Come back down to here, or come up here, and click this one right here. It's called Levels. You can have more than one adjustment layer, and if they're both on, they both correct. If they're both off, neither of them do, or one or the other. In this case, I want to use Levels because I'm not sure exactly where my colors exist and which one I need to fix. Now, you've got 3 eyedroppers, and we will get more into Levels in a later chapter. This is just a down and dirty trick. These eyedroppers function as a balance to the image. If you choose this one, which is black or shadows, that's midtones. That one's highlights or whites. Basically, if you click this, you better be clicking on a white. If you click this one, you better be clicking on a black. But the midtone is an interesting one, and it's a little bit more forgiving. And think of it this way. If you can find an area in your image that would be neutral, not color, but neutral, and use that midtone eyedropper to click on that area in the physical image, 9 times out of 10, it will figure out the balance to bring that back. And think about that wheel moving again. We're moving the wheel so that neutral is neutral, and then all the other colors will fall into balance. Now, this wood up here is very old, and it's gotten into a very gray patina, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to pick up this button right here and just click somewhere in an area that I think would have no color whatsoever. Check that out. one click. Now, either way, we succeeded in getting the colors balanced out. But you'll notice if I click someplace else, obviously it's not going to work. It's got to be a neutral area. And if you don't have one, well, then go back to the other way. But this way is a very easy way, down and dirty if you will, to fix the image just with one single click. Color balance, levels. Both ways work. Just depends on which one is faster and more efficient for you.